joining me is first-time author Kudzai Mukwembi, who is also a student at the Midland State University. Good morning, Kudzai. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good, and you?
I'm good. So, this is your first book.
Yes.
But you've always loved reading and writing. So does that mean that there's more little bits and pieces of work that haven't been put together?
Yes, I would say I've always liked writing because I started long back when I was in high school, but I was just writing. I wasn't publishing. I was just writing short stories, novels, but this is my first work.
Okay, all right. So why weren't you taking it a step further and publishing before?
When I was in high school, it was hard because I had a lot of pressure. I had to balance my subjects and the writing, so it wasn't really balancing. And the issue of funds, I didn't have enough funds to take the step further.
Right. So when you, as you're mentioning, because you're mentioning two very important things. Number one, finding that balance of school and what at the time is really a hobby because you haven't taken it up professionally, but also funding to complete projects is a major issue. Now you're a bit older. I think now you've managed to find your balance. But how are you managing the funding side? This is your first book. How did you put that together?
Right now, I'm an attachment, so I was just trying to to put the funds together.
Okay.
And my parents, they also helped me. I was like, please help me so that I can I can take my dream and make it a reality.
Did they understand your passion when you talked to them about wanting to publish a book?
Yeah, my mom was really supporting. She was encouraging me since long back. But I was like, no, I will do it. But she was like, you can write and you can see how it can go.
And your dad?
Yeah, but he's not really
Okay.
as much into novels.
All right. So this is your first published work. How did it feel when you got the first physical copy of your book?
I was so happy. I was like, is this really my work? Because it felt like it felt real, and I was super excited because I always wished for that.
So pressure for approval. Is this a factual book? Is it fiction? What is it?
It is a fictional novel.
Okay, so this was a story you made up in your head.
Yeah, I just thought about it. I was like, let me write it down.
And how long did it take you to finish writing it?
It took me 2 years.
2 years. 2 years. Which period did you use? Were you one of those COVID writers also?
Yeah.
I like that. No, I asked that because so a lot of people found themselves during COVID and then actually found the time to then sit down and say, look, let me put pen to paper and start developing my stories and start building. Did you ever find moments where you're like,
yeah, it always happened. Sometimes I was like, let me just leave it for now. I'll come back to it. Because, you would have a lot of pressure and you'll be stuck sometimes. You don't know, what am I supposed to write on this chapter and stuff. Yeah, it always happened a lot. And I always go back to it.
Did you get some help, some inspiration from people around you, ideas from friends?
Yeah, my friends, they were supportive. They encouraged me. They were there for me. But I would say someone who inspired me is Siti Angaremba. That novel writer.
Yeah.
I used to read her books, and she has won a lot of awards.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me try and just do it.
I like that you reference a local author. The relatability of the work, and you can see yourself in some of the stories, and also makes it easier for you to kind of translate and find your inspiration. Now, as you go forward, I mean, what are you hoping to do with this particular passion?
In the next years, I hope I'm going to write a lot of other books. And I want to put in more genres. Maybe a non-fictional one or a motivational one. So maybe I just hope in the next years I'll be a recognized author.
I think you're on a good path. I think you're doing well so far. Are you currently working on anything?
Not yet. Not yet.
Kudzai.
Currently, I'm focusing on this one.
All right. Now, those who want to get their hands on this, now, first of all, tell us a little bit about Pressure for Approval. What is the storyline?
Okay, so as the topic says, I was trying to portray the picture. For example, some people in the society, they end up doing things not because they want to do things, but that kind of pressure where you want to be accepted. So it has some of that. So the topic is just a highlight of what is inside, but that's what I was trying to focus on.
You're in university now. What are some of the pressures that you have to deal with?
The pressures are there because you need to write, for example, an assignment, and the lecturer is waiting, and you want to go back to writing. So yes, the pressure is there, but I was just trying to balance.
No, you're not balancing because you're not working. You've left us hanging. So for those who want to get in touch with you and maybe get their hands on this book, where do they find you?
Currently, I was selling online. For example, they can call me and then we can talk, and then I can bring a copy to them. That's what I'm doing. But very soon I'll be putting the books in the bookshops.
Okay, have you started the conversations with different bookshops to put the books?
Not yet, but very soon. Very soon I'll be doing that.
Look, we hope that you get the conversations moving very soon. But for now, so what is the number that they can call or WhatsApp if they want to get their copies?
They can use 078 00 143 93.
Say it again.
078 00 143 93.
Okay, and how much is the book going for?
It's going for $10.
$10 for a copy of Pressure for Approval by Kudzai Mukwembi. She is a first-time author, and definitely, I think, this is a healthy book. 2 years worth of work. It looks solid. It looks solid. But of course, if you do want to get a bit of insight into some of the pressures that the younger ones, I think, deal with, she's fairly young. She's fairly young. So there will be a lot of insight into some of the pressures that her and her peers will be dealing with. Even though it is a work of fiction, there's always some reality in there, some way, somehow. Now, do get your hands on this and read it. And then, of course, your job is to get it in the bookshops. That is your one job.
When
do you go back to school?
Next year.
Next year when?
End of February.
You've got time. By the time you go back to school,
Yeah.
this one in bookstores.
Yeah.
So that we can buy our copies nicely, all right? Without having to bother you for them. All right. No, thank you so much, and we do wish you all the best. When you go back to school, please start working on the next book.
Okay, I'll definitely do that.